Hi guys, this is Urvashi Jain, and today I'm going to discuss a very pertinent topic with you, that is how to finally start your preparation for your entrance exams, in specific your MBA preparation entrance exams. So now this is less of tips and more of a discussion with you guys. Why? Because exactly 3 years back, I was in a phase of my life where I was doing a job for 6 months and I felt like I was good at it and I was really enjoying myself. But then everybody around me seemed to be of the opinion that a postgraduate degree would be right for me at this point of time so that I'm able to earn the caliber that I'm worth. But the inertia, was stopping me. I was too scared to finally go out there, open the books, and start preparing. So, how do you break this inertia? How do you give your post graduation a serious thought and not just make it like a gym routine? कल जाऊंगा, कल से सही खाऊंगा, कल से न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ूंगा, कल से मेरी पूरी लाइफ सॉर्टेड होगी, बट आज मुझे जीने दो. So, how do you break that vicious circle and finally get down to studying? So, there are some very simple tips and tricks for you which might help you break that circle. It certainly worked for me. And if you have any more ideas, please share them with me because I would be very glad if we can help each other as a community. So, the very first thing that I did on my journey to start my MBA prep was that I sat down and I spoke to everybody I knew who was already an MBA, and I asked them as to when exactly had they started their prep, what subjects were they good at, what did they feel were the hurdles they faced during MBA prep. Now, this kind of discussion gave me two outcomes. One, there were people who seemed to be extremely intelligent and they said that they had only studied for a month, only given mocks, and that's it, that's how they appeared for the paper. But I was reading between the lines. Most of such people seem to say that they only gave the mocks, but at least for me, their advice was that it wouldn't harm you if you start studying in advance. And then there were those who said that it was a really tough phase for me and I studied for 6 months and I literally forgot everything else in life, and this was the only thing that I did, so you better get started because you're already late. Now, both of the point of views told me one thing: there are people who are extremely intelligent, or the entrance exam is of a kind which is right up their alley. And there are people who found it extremely tough, but then these people also made it. What was common in both of these advice was that it wouldn't harm you to start prep in advance. It may certainly harm you if you start too late. So now, how do you start the prep? Like, what are the tangible actions that you need to take? One thing which most of you must be doing, or most of us do, is we go to a coaching center, we pay a lot of money to them, we get back loads of these books, and then we get too scared. We're like, oh my god, these are 25 books and I'm never going to solve them. Or maybe I'll solve one exercise tomorrow and two exercises tomorrow, and that's it. That's again like the gym thing. You never really get down to doing it. But I went to a coaching center, I took an admission, I got back my books, and that day I made one simple promise to myself: I will attend each and every class in my power, okay? So unless there was something at office which made it extremely necessary for me to miss the class, I would never miss a class. And I would note down each and every class that I have missed so that I can go and sit with some other batch doing that class. One thing was attending the class. The other thing was I really tried that every exercise that was being covered in the class, I came home, opened those books, and solved the exercises. Yes, initially I was far behind what was happening in class because you have one class every day, whereas I am solving one chapter in 3 days. But then the thing is, it gave me satisfaction. It's not like I'm doing nothing. I am working towards it. And as the exam gets closer, your seriousness increases and your speed also increases with the increasing confidence. So the thing is, just keep doing it. It's like you go for a run. The first day, if you try to run a marathon, of course it wouldn't be possible, right? The first day, you might just return with some warm up exercises. The idea is the next day, start with a kilometer. The other day, start with 2 kilometers. So just be regular. Just keep giving a concerted effort towards it. That's one thing. Now, the other thing which really helped me was that, find your weak points. What are those subjects which really scare you? Is it quants? Maybe English? Or maybe LR? Then there are subjects which you didn't know you're poor at, but you are. So for example, I always thought that I'm really weak at quants and vocab is my strong point. But then when I started to solve cat vocab, I realized that it requires a different skill from what a conversational English requires. And therefore over here, I need to be sure grammatically as to what the correct answer is. And it would require practice. So this realization right at the beginning of my prep really helped me keep things into perspective. It was not like I was only doing quants every day. I made sure that I did a little bit of quants every day because it was my weakest. But then there was also some amount of vocab every now and then, some amount of DILR every now and then, so that I kept in touch. It wasn't like I've reached so far in quants, but then as for the other two subjects, I'm just nowhere. So that also really helped my confidence with my mocks. Now from there comes my third point, mock exams. These are something really important, and one thing which most of you will tend to do is that let me just finish all of my course and then I'll start giving the mocks. This is a very clear indicator that you're very scared to disappoint yourself. Understand this tendency that it's not going to kill you. An exam which nobody is going to see the scores to and which is only to make you practice harder is not going to kill you. Open it, try and attempt, even if you know only one question out of the 100 which were on the computer screen, or if you just didn't know any question and you had to sort of guesswork through it, just give that exam. Because one, the best advice that my coaching center professor gave me was that a lot of times people don't realize that these entrance exams require stamina to keep your mind active for 2 hours, 3 hours at a stretch. And that's the stamina which you lack. You're good at it, you know the answers, but you just don't have the stamina to concentrate for that long. Build that stamina over months. Sit for different kinds of exams, keep giving mocks, keep going through the answers, so that at times what happens is when you sat to give the mock, you didn't know the question, but then when you were going through its solution, you understood the solution. So it gives you some kind of confidence that it's okay if I can't solve it at the very first attempt, but if on being told the answer, I am able to understand it at the least. That will also really help you, and trust me, with time you will memorize all of those techniques and get better and better at it. Now the fourth advice that I would give you is that make a study group. What I did was, the coaching center that I was going to, I made observations as to who are the students who are very regular to class and who ask questions and who seem to be solving a lot of questions. Most of them seem to be way smarter than me, but still I made an effort to make friends with them, make a WhatsApp group with them, so that whenever I couldn't solve a question, I would just send it across to them and they would solve my queries. And as a person, be very open hearted. Don't be like, I know the answer to this question but I will not share it with him or her. Be open, help others and they will help you, and all of you can get selected. Trust me, there are enough MBA seats in India for all of you to get into good colleges. So just find those people who will keep you motivated all throughout. I was not, in my personal case, I did not start studying for my post-graduation with all of my other classmates in college. I took a break, I worked for a company, and then, I started preparing for CAT. So I was the only person in my group preparing. They didn't relate to my stage of life then. These people at the coaching center were my friends who kept me motivated till the end. And trust me, there are times when you feel so scared, you really lose the stamina, you really lose the courage to sort of go out and tell the world that I'm not scoring well at my mocks and I don't know if I'll make it this year. That's the time when these people are going to tell you, listen, it's the same situation with us, just calm down, keep practicing, it's okay, ho jayega. So you need a good friend circle. The last thing is, read the newspapers. Now I know I have covered this thing in some of my previous videos, but why am I asking you to read the newspapers is because, one, it's just going to take your mind off your prep for some time, but unconsciously you will be prepping. You will be increasing your reading speed, which is extremely important for your comprehension section. you will be increasing your vocabulary. Again, it's going to help you. Plus it's going to be helping you for the post entrance exam rounds, that is your GDPI rounds. So always keep reading the newspaper as you're studying for your exams. It's going to make you feel more aware, it's going to keep your mind active, and it's just going to so it is a proven fact that when you read the newspaper, it really increases your attention span, and you need it during your CAT or GMAT or ZAT prep. So these are some of my advices. Please let me know if you have something else in mind. But guys, it's just so simple. Go out there, get your books, and get started. And the day you get bored, write a comment on this video, and I'm going to tell you how to start back and get back at it again. Just don't give up. Okay, best of luck for your prep. Let me know what other videos you want me to do. And just a sneak peek, this room, it's my hostel room that I'm shooting this video in. So a little sneak peek into the MBA life. Bye.